This video is sponsored by GamesPlanet.
Gee, it sure is boring around here.
My boy.
I just wonder what Ganon's up to.
Well, my boy, I'm sure Ganon is gaming his heart out using the amazing service of GamesPlanet. What is that, you ask? Well, GamesPlanet is an official distributor of the industry's biggest publishers and their biggest PC games. From Bandai Namco, Sega, PlayStation, Capcom. If you want to play all the latest and greatest that PC gaming has to offer, then GamesPlanet is the perfect choice for you and your friends. The best part about it, other than saving a crap ton of money on these great deals, is the fact that each official key you purchase from GamesPlanet can be refunded at any time with no trouble at all, should there happen to be an issue or problem with the game you have purchased. That's super awesome! So long as your game doesn't end up being like Big Rig's, you are winner, then you're totally set. So if you like the game seen here in this video, you can purchase it using my affiliate link down below in the description and use the promo code provided to get an awesome discount on your purchase. Pretty good, right? Right? Guys! Thank you. So what are you waiting for? Come check out GamesPlanet today and proclaim to the world, after all your saved money, that
I won!
Hello once again, my chickadees. Game & Chick is back once again with another video. Before we get started, I'd like to give a big special thanks to the awesome folks over at GamesPlanet and WB Games for providing me the game to make this review possible. Thank you so much. So now with that having been said, let's get to it. Mortal Kombat 1 is a reboot sequel of the long-running Mortal Kombat series and is developed by NetherRealm Studios and published by WB Games. Coming off the lukewarm received title of Mortal Kombat 11, NetherRealm decided that it's time again to reboot the series for a second time since 2011. But was this reboot worth all the effort, or should they have kept tweaking the current formula to see if that yielded any success? Only one way to find out, so get over here! Story. After defeating Kronika and Shang Tsung, Fire God Liu Kang uses Kronika's hourglass to recreate the universe before relinquishing control of it to Garrus to become Earthrealm's protector. In time, he forms a tenuous alliance with Outworld under the auspice of continuing the Mortal Kombat tournaments. In the present, Liu Kang recruits cabbage farmers Kung Lao and Raiden, struggling actor Johnny Cage and former Yakuza member Kinshi Takahashi to compete in the latest tournament. It is now where the fight for Earth and Realm truly begins. Gameplay. It has begun, once again. Having now been rebooted for the second time in like 10 years with Mortal Kombat 9 and now Mortal Kombat 1, NetherRealm feels this time that they have nailed what they were going for, which is a deeper driven narrative and improved gameplay. I have to be perfectly honest, I haven't really enjoyed a Mortal Kombat game to a full degree since Mortal Kombat 9 in 2011. I have played both Mortal Kombat 10 and Mortal Kombat 11, and while they're alright games in their own right, I personally just can't get over how sluggishly slow they feel and the sheer amount of microtransactions that impede on the fun part of the game. Heck, if you give me a choice in a Saw-like scenario of play Mortal Kombat 10 or 11, live or die, make your choice, I'd probably just say, yeah, no, just give me a sequel to Shaolin Monks, okay? Thanks. Seriously, that game was really fun. Definitely deserved a sequel. Come on, Ed Boon, hurry up and make it a reality, or I'll end up uppercutting you into a pit of fire or something. But anyways, we should really be talking about Mortal Kombat 1 and what it brings to this long historic franchise that has quenched our bloodthirsty hearts or made pearl-clutching politicians squirm in their seats.
Like the Grinch who stole Christmas, these violent video games threaten to rob this particular holiday season of a spirit of goodwill. Instead of enriching a child's mind, these games teach a child to enjoy inflicting torture.
What do you think when you hear the names Liu Kang, Sub-Zero, and Scorpion? Other than the awesome fight scenes in the first live-action movie, not the abomination of a reboot movie. I hate you, Cole. You're garbage, kid. I'll answer that question for you. The words you and I are looking for is iconic and symbolic. 3 legendary creatures spanning the course of 3 decades of carnage. Since the dawn of time, aka arcades, Sega Genesis, and Super Nintendo, the Mortal Kombat franchise has been linked side by side with brutal combat that ranges from uppercutting people onto spike hazards, spine ripping and decapitations, eye gouging, backbreakers, splitting in half, and friendship. Huh? Confused? Well, if you're new to the franchise, then maybe that's a good thing, because for a while there with fatalities, animalities, and friendships, the franchise really took a weird turn. But again, off topic. Here in Mortal Kombat 1, as stated before, reboots what you knew previously and does in fact right the wrongs in some aspects that were lingering from Mortal Kombat 10 and 11. And instead of repeating the same mistakes, chooses to pull a complete shift in gameplay dynamics and pushes the boundaries forward, more of which you'd come to expect and know the brand Mortal Kombat 4. The first implementation to make their graces known is the introduction of the cameo system that is in the vein of mechanics you've seen in the Marvel vs. Capcom franchise, which inserting it into the Mortal Kombat gameplay with the amount of versatile characters there are allows players to put the conventional means of playing to rest and adhere to a faster playstyle than in previous iterations of the series. Thank the Elder Gods for that! If I had to spend another minute moving like a snail for combat, I'd put Sindel Scream to shame. Yes, this does in fact mean you can pull off audacious combos in various setups depending on your party members, even allowing you to pull off endless juggle techniques to gain the upper advantage on your opponents. But nope, not me. I absolutely suck. So all of my matches were jump, kick, combo, do a few moves, and then win, rinse, repeat. Even with past series mishaps, each new installment does introduce some significant gameplay deviations, but still somewhat keeping intact why people actually play this franchise to begin with, and that obviously continues here in Mortal Kombat 1. Cameo system aside, the game makes notable alterations that include a bringing together the meter management into a single resource that allows for enhanced special moves, breakers, jump cancels from uppercuts, and improvement of fatal blows, which no longer allow you the luxury of invincibility upon its activation. That's right, folks, no more thinking you're a god of the realms during battles and mocking me before destroying me. Now I am your god. And this, my friends, this is where you fall down. Expanding further on the gameplay enhancements in this iteration, all characters in this title, aside from cameo characters for aid, increasing their potential for inflicting damage against their foes without having the need to expand their meters due to the game's air combo system. Combo breaker! Wait, oops, my bad, wrong game. Thankfully, in addition to the positive tweaking of the game, the long-lingering issue of block crouching jabs being a main strategy for people to use, like me in the original Mortal Kombat game, who couldn't win against Shang Tsung, so I do the duck walk and then just crouch and punch and kick to win. Well, thankfully that issue has been taken care of and is no longer viable to use. This in turn helps the game feel more balanced and more about timing and skill-based combat that you're used to in the series. It's competitive without making it become overbearing with the learning curve. Oh well, at least I still get to spam my jump kick on Goro. Kick! 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 Once again giving praise to the cameo system, because if you're like me, you're going to use it a lot because you're pretty doo-doo at fighting games. You, as a player, have the opportunity to select a second character that can be summoned as an assist during battles, with each character possessing their own unique meter that indicates their cooldown usage. Each character, such as Goro's Stomp Assist, offers you a minimum of at least 3 assist moves, all of which enrich your own fighting style immensely and can completely change how you play the game or approach a fight. For example, should you choose to play as a character such as Baraka, who looks like Sarah Jessica Parker on a good day, you will notice his character has overhead attacks, such as jump spinning or up and down motion slicing. But this is also his weakness, as he's not able to combat against opponents whose predominant style requires them to block low. I'm looking at you, Johnny Cage. I'm not falling for it this time. I'll just hang out in the back and wait for you to come to me. What? You're flipping me off? Oh, hell no. It's on now, bro. Crap. Fell for it again. Right in the family jewels. Silliness aside, to counter low-blocking enemies, you can use a cameo such as Scorpion, who focuses on overhead attacks and lower attacks, giving you more strategies to use in any scenario you take on. Have a character that focuses on air and overhead combat, cameo that uses short-range or low-range fighting style for the best possible outcome. Strategy is a major part of this game, making your job easier to employ new strategies that penetrates your new opponent's defenses and crumbles their offense in the blink of an eye. I'm, however, not good at strategy, so I basically only used them when I needed to run or hang back because I got terrified of losing and looking like a loser. Don't feel bad for me. I don't want your pity. In fact, I spit on it.
Save your pity for the weak.
The cameo options extend beyond just basic combo extensions, however, with a few cameo characters granting you the ability to teleport, obtain invincibility from throwable objects, or retreat quickly to a distance should you get in trouble. This in itself makes Mortal Kombat 1 feel like a game of tag team and further boosting the series' distinctive gameplay by incorporating something brand new that actually, works into an already tried and true formula. It genuinely feels like it's back to the gameplay style of Mortal Kombat's classic 2D fighting games, albeit with a bright coat of paint and new goodies at your disposal. It feels as if Mortal Kombat 1 was like, okay, listen kid, to the last couple entries and was like, your soul is mine, and then proceeded to suck all the life out of them, finally killing them for good, and thus making the ultimate Mortal Kombat game. Well, good riddance is all I say. That means I don't have to slit you from ear to ear. But enough gushing about the cameo system, let's move on to other things about this title, such as its campaign mode. The campaign mode in this title, or rather its story mode, represents both a reboot of the franchise's story as well as extends on story mode arcs from Mortal Kombat 11, thus making this a sequel boot. A sequel reboot? A C-boot? A noob Cybot? I don't know, call it what you will. The story this go-around acts as a reimagining of everything you knew about the characters, as the title unveils a new universe where the entire history of the franchise has been scaled and rewritten to a brand new image, one with the goal of creating peace without the evils of the likes of Shang Tsung and Quan Chi, or even Shinnok. With this series change, you see once familiar characters get complete makeovers, which includes alterations to their appearances, their lore and backstory, relationships with other characters, and even a tweaking of their own abilities as well. This new world of Mortal Kombat is forged by the Fire God himself, Liu Kang, by making use of the Hourglass of Time to reshape this universe piece by piece to his vision and his liking. Good thing I'm not the timekeeper in this scenario. I'd just create a world of Bo-Rai-Chos and make a universe of burps and farts. No? Yeah, okay, I know. That joke was lame, I'm sorry. Notable differences to this timeline that veers completely away from the story you know is that Earth's realm is now at peace, which obviously hasn't been the case for a very long time. Hell, our own Earth hasn't been at peace either since we got Mortal Kombat Annihilation. We never freaking recovered. Outworld in this game is no longer a hellhole run by demons and Shao Kahn, and is instead beautiful, prosperous, and ruled by Queen Sindel, who, like Liu Kang of this era, presides over the Mortal Kombat tournaments between Earthrealm and Outworld. Through both Sindel and Liu Kang's action, peace between the realms has been maintained, and Mortal Kombat in good spirit. However, history is to repeat itself. As with all peace, comes disruption from within Queen Sindel's political makeup, which, suffice to say, goes from 0 to 100 pretty damn quick in true Mortal Kombat fashion. As you move through the narrative story, you will notice that characters, some being fan favorites such as Baraka and Reptile, now take center stage, and instead of being background characters who do the bare minimum, now are vital to how the story plays out, complete with their own playable chapters and pivotal story moments that change the course of this timeline forever. Even though the story can only run you about 6 hours or so, it still keeps you engrossed enough to make you want to know more, as well as feels delighted to see how characters like Kenshi becomes blind and how he is able to see, get fully introduced to Johnny Cage's world. As the start of his chapter, you're literally playing through one of his Hollywood movies that is basically his version of Indiana Jones, complete with one-liner cheese and all, which is awesome and hilarious. Find out just what is wrong with Melina and how her face got as deformed and disfigured as it did, and even get some backstory pertaining to why Reptile is even working with the bad guys to begin with. It's all extremely well done and manages to give a fresh take on classic characters while also honoring and staying true to their original origins and backgrounds. Unlike Mortal Kombat 2021. I I know, I'm whining at this point, but sheesh, I hated that movie! My point being is that the story mode can act like an over-the-top B-movie that leaves it feeling like a popcorn action flick that is extremely well choreographed and gets you in the same mood as you did when you watched the original Mortal Kombat movie with its badass theme song that always makes you feel like you can fight better than you really can. Me, I end up looking like the old Star Wars meme, dude. Having said that, the story mode isn't 100% perfect, even though I do find that it's great and well acted. Each chapter you partake in throws you into a mix of different characters. So, with there being 15 chapters, that's potentially 15 different characters you will play as. Sounds awesome, right? Well, yeah, until you find out you are just immediately thrown into the battle, not knowing how a character moves, anything about the attributes, combos, launchers, or even special moves. You go blind into every battle not even knowing how to play that character, so you either have to wing it and hope for the best, or quit and leave the story, go to the tutorial mode and learn that character and then go back to the story more prepared. Which is tedious as hell. Then once you're finally telling yourself, alright, I got this character down good now, let's go! You're then transitioned over to the next chapter and another new character to play as and learn. Don't get mad, just calm down. Take deep breaths and tell that bottle of Tylenol to get over here, and then move on. Extra stuff. When you're done playing through the twists and turns of the story mode by experiencing events from the eyes of Johnny Cage, Kitana, Melina, Kenshi, Baraka, Reptile, etc., you're able to move over into a brand new single-player experience named Invasion. It's basically the death version of Mario Party, or for an easier understanding for the Mortal Kombat base, it's like if the Crypt and Conquest modes had a baby and this was the end result. Huh? Who would have thought? Babality actually came in handy for once? Well, I'll be. Usually the only ones I find via Babality are fished out of a lake, but this hasn't happened in a while, so… What? Dang it, again? Invasion mode has you move across a game board, the first of which being Johnny Cage's mansion, which has a throwback to the old blood code from Sega Genesis, with its password being ABACABB. And then take part in fast-paced battles, similar to the Towers of Time, which is another in-depth mode that's a take on the Living Towers and Classic Towers with extra rewards, playstyles, and incentives. But sometimes too much is just a little too much. By moving space to space, each will feature a specific fight with a different character, or a super overpowered Kung Lao on an appropriately punned named level of Kung Wow. The goal of the invasion matches? Go across the board, fight decent to semi-challenging opponents, collect rewards and currency coins, find keys to unlock secrets, complete Test Your Might challenges, which will give you blood blisters on your fingers, etc. RPG tactics can be used in this space. Again, it's much like Conquest mode, but it's really only useful with boss battles of each area. Otherwise, there's really no point if I'm going to be honest. Just like there's no point to Mortal Kombat 2021. Okay, I'll stop. That's the last time, I swear. To be fair, this mode is a breeze, or at least feels like it, and its only real complexity comes from the cameo damage types. Knowing the advantage and disadvantage chart for harder enemies, status bonuses using talismans and relics that add to your effects in both a positive and negative manner in the form of buffing and debuffing. Even though this sounds great, it's not really meaningful unless you push through the later boards after hours and hours in order to make your hard work or patience come to fruition with the use of RPG tactics you learned. The straightforward combat of this mode is there and it's superb, but the mix of Crypt and Conquest mechanics together on top of it creates a very weird hybrid that does have great ideas, but ultimately falls short of the weight it puts on itself by trying to carry too much at once. Fun in spurts, but the longer you play in one sitting, it just ends up feeling like a laborious chore. But don't feel dampered just yet, because Invasion mode isn't the only content to do or achieve after the credits have rolled. So come on, stick around a little longer and I'll explain. If there's one thing this title overachieves at, it's the rewards you get for actually playing the dang game. I know, right? A game actually rewarding you for playing it. That feels like a lost art. This comes in the form of rewarding us as players with character-specific tied unlockables the longer you dwell into the gameplay mechanics and attempt to master your favorite characters. By playing through the main story mode and invasion mode, you will be able to obtain an abundance of content that ranges from new gear for each character, new skins for clothes, new taunts, brutalities, and special fatalities that tie in with your character's continued progression the more you play with them. So what happens if you're like, man, I really want to play a Sub-Zero, but you never got a chance to get a feel of his character? Simple. Play the extremely comprehensive tutorial mode on the main title screen that gives you the ins and outs of basic controls, to the more intricate mechanics involving offensive strategies, how to deal with a knockdown opponent, frame trapping, and how each move is performed in the easiest fashion possible. With 7 combo trials to attempt per character, by the time you're finished, you will have a full grasp on how well each character can be used to their fullest. So what if you still get your butt kicked, even after practicing? Well then, that's on you, buddy. Just like Shao Kahn, I have no need for your excuses. But we're forgetting about something. What about the online play? Well, sadly to say, if you didn't like how it was in Mortal Kombat 11, then you're going to hate it here to an extent. The netcode overall stays fine, and features like King of the Kill and Combat League are back in their full glory. That's great and welcomed. As well as offering season rewards, currencies, skins, profile pictures, different gear, and incentives for ranking up. However, even with that, Mortal Kombat 1 stifles it a bit by not allowing you to initiate a match while you're engaged with other modes at the same time. An issue that's unique to this title, and not an issue with other on-the-market fighting titles. On top of this, there is not an option at this time to create custom rooms with multiple spots for simultaneous matches, and it forces you to wait for other matches to conclude before thinking about joining. With the last bummer to the online function being at launch, there's no crossplay as of yet. Even though it's coming, it's a shame that it's not here at launch to bolster each install base to have fun together. Do they not know that crossplay means that the fate of millions of players' boredom is in their hands? Overall, at the end of the day, Mortal Kombat 1 saves the franchise from the rut that it's been in for quite some time, and finally gives it a look to a bright future and road to walk down. Sure, yeah, it's far from perfect, with no crossplay at launch, and Invasion being fun, but a bit overwhelming for what it's hyped to be. However, with its amazing graphics and detail to each environment, exceptional voice acting by all actors and actresses in their roles, minus Megan Fox. Yikes! Great implementation of tag team mechanic with the use of cameos, faster and quick-thinking fighting that makes the game faster to play and fun to master, a great narrative story that mixes the old school with the brand new in a coherent way that doesn't disrespect the series past, Living Tower, Tower of Time, Classic Tower challenges, and the abundance of collectibles to be found in the game just by playing it that lessens the stance of having to buy microtransactions. All of these far outweigh the bad and gives me the confidence enough to say that Mortal Kombat is back and the future for this franchise truly has begun. So with all that having been said, my verdict is clear. Game and Chick says,
Too bad you will die.
huh? Go away, Sindel. And eat a breath mint. Your breath be hella stank. So again, with all that having been said, my verdict is clear. Game and Chick says, bye now.
You should seriously consider becoming a screenwriter.
What in the actual fuck?